This is Michael Popok, Legal AF. Donald Trump, the failed businessman, has got to be pretty pissed at Donald Trump, the presidential candidate, right about now, because Donald Trump, the presidential candidate, is making moves to tank the stock of his own company by about 5% on the moment that Donald Trump went on with Elon Musk and returned to X. The return of Donald Trump to X started with a video, the first posting in several years, followed by a gaffe-filled, technologically challenged interview with Elon Musk that rambled on for 2 hours of sheer boredom. If you needed to have root canal without any anesthesia, you would tune in to that interview. But what's the impact on the stock, you might ask, Michael Popok? And I'm here to tell you. Here's the impact. The sole asset of Truth Social, and nobody will disagree with me, including Donald Trump and his people, is Donald Trump. And Donald Trump staying off of other social media platforms and people having to pay an entry fee, i.e. join Truth Social, in order to hear from their cult leader, Donald Trump. Now, if Donald Trump is appearing back on X and back on Twitter, that compromises the major and only asset of Truth Social, and the investing market recognized it and dropped the stock over 5%. That stock is down and has already crushed thousands and thousands of investors who are never going to see the light of day. In other words, they're never going to see their money back because they invested at Donald Trump, right? And they invested on him at a really high number, which is now being crushed. That the only asset it has is Donald Trump. And if Donald Trump can be found through other distribution channels like social media owned by Elon Musk, then what is the purpose of Truth Social? Like when you read its reason, its raison d'etre, its reason for existing, what is it? It was sold to the investing public as, you can't get Donald Trump anywhere else. He's banned from, and he's deplatformed from all these other social media platforms like Truth Social, like X. You can only get him on Truth Social. And then Donald Trump turns around and says, I better reach a wider audience than the 4 million active daily users, which, by the way, in the world of social media is like nothing. It's like zero. There are influencers that have more than 4 million daily users. The MeidasTouch network has multiples of 4 million. I think we do 30 million views of our work in a 48-hour period, just to show you what we're talking about. And so even Donald Trump had to say, well, I better go someplace where somebody's watching, and I better go over to Twitter with Elon Musk and get some eyeballs on me. But of course, the asset is degraded over on Truth Social. And it was called out, Emperor has no clothes, as disgusting as that imagery is for Donald Trump, by the brokers. The Wall Street brokers were like, tank, 5% drop. And this is off a company that's already reported almost $400 million of loss in the last 2 quarters. $400 million of loss. That means in order to round out the year in the black, they're going to have to magically make $400 million plus $1 and avoid other losses for the next 2 quarters in order to be in the black. Not happening. Their burn rate appears to be approximately $100 million a month. That's the amount of money that they're spending and wasting on who knows what. They have no programming. They have no content to speak of. And now Donald Trump has decided he's going to appear on The Competitor. Lumen is the world's first handheld metabolic coach. It's a device that measures your metabolism through your breath. And on the app, it lets you know if you're burning fat or carbs and gives you tailored advice to improve your nutrition, workouts, sleep, and even stress management. All you have to do is breathe into your Lumen first thing in the morning, and you'll know what's going on with your metabolism, whether you're burning mostly fats or carbs. Then, Lumen gives you a personalized nutrition plan for that day based on your measurements. You can also breathe into it before and after workouts and meals, so you know exactly what's going on in your body in real time. And Lumen will give you tips to keep you on top of your health game, because your metabolism is at the center of everything your body does. Optimal metabolic health translates to a bunch of benefits, including easier weight management, improved energy levels, better fitness results, better sleep, etc. It can also track your cycle and adjust your recommendations to keep your metabolism healthy through hormonal shifts so you can keep up your energy and stave off cravings. So if you want to take the next step in improving your health, go to lumen.me/legalaf to get 15% off your Lumen. That's LUMEN.me/legalaf for 15% off your purchase. Thank you, Lumen, for sponsoring this episode. Right at the moment when the stock is teetering already, because people are recognizing that the only buyers that are buying it, the sucker bet, are the people who are diehard MAGA Trump supporters, and they want to own a stock certificate, a digital stock certificate that says they own a piece of Donald Trump. As I've said, Donald Trump is for sale. Foreign or domestic, you can invest in Donald Trump and try to influence his policy. The stock ticker is DJT. You can literally buy Donald Trump. And that's what people are doing. And it's not the small retail investor. It's the behind the scenes people that are taking other things like investing by convertible notes and debt into the company. Debt that they can convert into stock if the stock ever takes off. Those are the true, Federalist Society, people in the oil and gas industry who are trying to influence Donald Trump's policy should he return to office. That's what's going on in the smoke-filled rooms, the back rooms, the back offices of this entity. On the front, it's just a crush of all the widows and orphans and MAGA that own the stock. Those are the ones that are being hurt, and Donald Trump doesn't care because he's trying to get reelected try to get elected again in order to avoid criminal prosecution and jail time. Not that that will work. That gambit will not work. This elaborate game of musical chairs to avoid prison is going to end very soon and badly for Donald Trump because that music is going to stop, and he's paying, talk about a burn rate, he's paying $30 or $40 million a month in legal fees. That's going to stop. And he's not going to have a chair. He's going to have a jail cell, but he's not going to have a chair at the end of that elaborate game of musical chairs. And so, but look what's going on. I mean, I'm taking this from the perspective that somebody who's worked on Wall Street on the law side, and kind of look and kind of know the broker culture and know the equity culture here. And they are just going, wait a minute, what is the reason for existing of this company? What is its competitive advantage? It only had one. Donald Trump couldn't be found anywhere else in terms of social media and post and mean tweets, as they say. Now he's returned to Twitter and to X with this elaborately staged Spaces BS interview. But look beneath it, and that's what the investors and the brokers are doing. What does it mean? It means there's a chance he's going to spend a lot of time back with Musk and X, and less time and less exclusive time as an asset of the Truth Social Trump Media Group asset. And that is a problem for the stock that doesn't have any other assets. I mean, sure, they're going to open up some BS streaming service at some point, and they got into bed with somebody who owns the company, who's also in the oil and petroleum and gas business in Texas and in Oklahoma, and is trying to influence petroleum policy by doing an investment with Donald Trump to do a streaming service for Truth Social. Follow that? That's what's going on behind the scenes. But I just find it the height of hypocrisy that Donald Trump stands in front of a microphone and tells the American people he's for the little guy. He's for Main Street. He's going to stop taxing people on their tips. He's just like you and me, just like you and me. If Donald Trump saw a person below his economic station on fire in the middle of the street, he wouldn't stop to urinate on that person to put the flames out. Let's be frank. I live in New York. I know Donald Trump and his kind. I've rubbed elbows sort of near Donald Trump and people in his inner circle. My office is near his office. I've been in New York for a long time. And as Kamala Harris puts it so eloquently, I know the kind, I know the type. And the fact that it should come as no surprise that he's willing to crush the retail investor in his stock in order to try in a narcissistic way, in his avarice, his greed to get back into power, he'll do anything, including undermining the only bailout for him, The only financial relief for him is if he can ever get his hands on the billions of dollars potentially of the market value of that company. And at the rate he's going, in undermining its sole asset, that's never going to happen. We'll continue to follow it all from our unique perspective on the MeidasTouch Network and on Legal AF every Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, where we curate the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. We bring it to you just like this. Wednesdays, I've got a co-anchor. It's Karen Freeman Agnifilo. Saturdays, it's Ben Mycelis. And then on hot takes like this one about every hour. If you like what I'm doing, leave me a comment and a thumbs up. It signals to the algorithmic gods that you like the content, and it will continue to come to you. So until my next hot take, until my next Legal AF, this is Michael Popok reporting. Heary, heary, Legal AF Law Breakdown is now in session. Go beyond the headlines and get a deep dive into the important legal concepts you need to know, and we discuss every day on Legal AF. Exclusive content you won't find anywhere else, all for the price of a couple of cups of coffee. Join us at patreon.com/legalaf. That's patreon.com/legalaf.